We have some major breaking news as it has been announced that Conor Jones has been suspended for the upcoming Truck Series race at Martinsville for intentionally wrecking Matt Mills. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel and welcome back to the video. As I just said, we got some pretty major breaking news as NASCAR has officially announced that they have suspended Conor Jones for the upcoming Truck Series race on Friday at Martinsville Speedway. Now, why is he being suspended for the upcoming race? Like I mentioned a second ago, if you watched the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race at a Homestead Miami Speedway this past week, you probably saw what happened going into turn number 3. I believe on lap 70 or 71 of the Craftsman Truck Series race at Homestead, Matt Mills put a little bit of a block on Conor Jones going into turn number 3. And Conor Jones just jumped straight into the back of him and drove him up hard into the outside wall. This resulted in the truck catching fire, and Matt Mills inhaled a ton of smoke. He did climb from the truck, but Matt Mills was basically sent to the hospital because of what ended up happening. And unfortunately, he was there for a couple of nights, so he has been released from the hospital. Now, Matt Mills has been cleared and will for sure race this weekend at Martinsville Speedway. Now, Conor Jones, after that, went on a very, very big rant on the radio, basically saying he got tired of all the blocking that has been going on basically throughout 2024 when he's been racing in the Craftsman Truck Series this year. Continuing on, NASCAR then parked him for 2 laps, made him come and sit on pit road. Then Conor Jones was asked by media members to give thoughts on the situation, and then they basically kind of ignored, said, should I say something or am I going to say something stupid? And then he released a little bit of an apology. He didn't write the apology, it looked like himself. It looked like it was someone from his PR team. It did look AI generated a little bit, to be honest with you, that they kind of was not fully written by him. Now, there has been a lot of people that have been waiting for NASCAR to do something. We all kind of thought the penalty report was going to come out on yesterday, but NASCAR has waited till Wednesday to make the decision. I think this absolutely is the right decision that they're going to go ahead and suspend him for a race. Now, personally, in my opinion, because of all the stuff that Conor Jones has been doing, I don't think it's fully enough. I think it should have been suspended for the rest of the season personally. One, it's an intentional crash. You can't just dump somebody in the corner. I don't care if you're pissed off. I don't care if you're frustrated. What he did was unacceptable. But number 2, he just completely dumped him and sent a guy to the hospital. I mean, that is just uncalled for from a driver like Conor Jones. And not to mention, Conor Jones is a driver who's 18 years old, but he has a terrible reputation across all motorsports. You go to the car store, he's dumped people to win races in the car store this year. He has been sent to the NASCAR hauler 3 times. It was also mentioned, I believe, on Door Bumper Clear that he tried to almost wreck Dawson Sutton going into turn number 3 earlier in the race as well. And the problem for Conor Jones is Conor Jones does not have the talent to really back it up. Conor Jones so far this year has raced, I believe, 13 or 14 Craftsman Truck Series races and only has 0 top 10 finishes. Meanwhile, drivers like Luke Fenhaus, who have only made 3 starts in the number 66 truck, he's had 2 top 10s in the 3 starts he's ran so far this year. That's who I think we'll talk about, who I think will drive the truck this week in a second. But NASCAR definitely had to do something. And I'm glad that NASCAR is taking steps to try to suspend drivers now going forward. These young drivers need to learn. And the Truck Series, unfortunately, has had a terrible reputation when it comes to drivers intentionally wrecking other drivers out on the racetrack. We kind of saw it with Austin Dillon, where he intentionally wrecked Joey Logano to win the race on the last lap of the event. Same with Denny Hamlin as well. Austin Dillon did not get a suspension for it, but Austin Dillon, because it wasn't a short track, Austin Dillon, of course, though, did not get to have that win go in the playoffs. This is also kind of very similar to other penalties they've had for other drivers in the Cup Series as well. Remember back in Las Vegas years ago when Bubba Wallace right rear Kyle Larson down the straightaway after Larson kind of had started the incident, but Bubba also suspended for the next race weekend at Homestead Miami Speedway. Then you go back to last year at the Coke 600. Chase Elliott right rear Denny Hamlin down the straightaway, and Chase Slay was suspended for the next race at Worldwide Technology Raceway in Gateway. He was suspended for that race. He gave Corey LaJoie a chance and opportunity. NASCAR's been pretty consistent when it comes to intentional crashes. But like I said a second ago, NASCAR is definitely stepping in and making the right decision here consider to at least suspend him for one race. I think NASCAR really had no choice here. The backlash was out there. The audio was out there. The fact he said on the radio that he intentionally wrecked him showed that NASCAR at least has the right indication here to suspend. And I think this is something that NASCAR does need to keep doing going forward. You cannot have drivers doing this. And people were like on social media too, like been calling out Conor Jones all year long. You go on social media, you go on Twitter, you go on all these social media accounts, and they're going to tell you they say the same thing. They're going to look at the situation. They're going to be like, yeah, Conor Jones absolutely did everything wrong here, and he deserves to be criticized, especially at a track this big, like a 1.5 mile racetrack. You can't be doing that kind of stuff. There's a lot of young talents that have shown potential. Guys like William Sawalich and Connor Zilic, a really good Connor, by the way. But you have also guys like Conor Jones. And people kind of compare Conor Jones a little bit to Carson Hocevar. The difference is between Carson Hocevar and Conor Jones. One, Carson Hocevar with his actions never sent anybody to the hospital. But number two, Carson Hocevar could back it up on the racetrack by winning races. He got 4 Truck Series wins in 2023. Meanwhile, and also has been very competitive with Spire Motorsports and Cup and is likely going to clinch the Rookie of the Year honors at the end of this year. Conor Jones, like I mentioned, had 0 top 10s. He's done worse than Hailie Deegan. And in my opinion, if you do worse than Hailie Deegan, that is not a good thing. And I think there's drivers who are not full-time in the series who aren't there because of money, of course, but who have done better, in my opinion, but aren't full-time because, unfortunately, because of the money side of things. But NASCAR, like I said, they did the right thing here. This is a no-brainer. And personally, I think Conor Jones should not be able to come back in the sport in 2025. I don't think he's mature enough to be racing in this series. So I am very glad to see that NASCAR is taking some sort of action to go ahead and suspend Conor Jones for the upcoming weekend. Now, going back to, I think, will be behind the wheel of the number 66 truck, my best guess is Luke Fenhouse will be behind the wheel of this truck. Luke Fenhouse made select starts with ThorSport Racing throughout the year. That is my guess who I think will be behind the wheel, but we'll have to wait and see who they decide. They can't get a Cup driver, obviously. They could get an Xfinity Series driver, perhaps, but I don't think an Xfinity driver is also completely able to run in trucks, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll have to kind of wait and see who they decide. My best guess is Luke Fenhouse will be the driver of that truck going into this weekend's race. We'll have to kind of wait and see who they end up deciding. But NASCAR, like I said, they absolutely made the right decision here. What he did was completely uncalled for, completely unjust, and very unacceptable for a driver, especially young. You can't be doing that stuff, and you've got to learn from those mistakes. And I'm glad to see that NASCAR is stepping in and making the right decisions in regards to what they should do with Conor Jones, in my honest opinion. So, that is going to be it for today's special breaking news report on Conor Jones. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support my Patreon as well. Let's go below that and comment your thoughts below on today's episode. You think NASCAR made the right decision on Conor Jones? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. There will be Xfinity Series race picks dropping on the channel later this afternoon. Tomorrow we'll have the race picks for the NASCAR Cup Series race at Martinsville. We'll also, of course, have the paint scheme video dropping as well. Then on Friday, we'll have a NASCAR news video discussing more stuff on the Conor Jones situation, and we also are going to have the Truck Series race review as well, and probably reactions to Xfinity Series qualifying dropping on the channel as well. Got a ton of great NASCAR content dropping over the course of the next couple days that I cannot wait for you guys to check out. We'll also have a Shane Van Gisbergen video dropping, of course, on Saturday. Might talk about Carl Lewis, all those other people too, coming out very soon, so expect that on the channel over the course of the next couple days. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.